The Bitcoin parabolic staircase theory. Is it possible that Bitcoin right now is in the process of building a parabolic staircase that could potentially take us not only to new highs above the $14,000 previous top, but also to new all-time highs here as well? Let's dive in and analyze. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Crypto Kirby here, your cryptocurrency expert, back with another edition of the daily live stream. What is going on, my friends? Today I'd like to discuss Bitcoin and the parabolic staircase theory. For today's stream, I'm going to use the line chart, not the traditional candlestick chart, as this chart shows only the daily closes. The candlesticks show all of the daily trading data. This is the close only, and I think it shows a pretty distinct picture of what's gone on here throughout Bitcoin's previous bull cycles, and I want to analyze this here today for the potential similarities and potentially even some probabilities of what could potentially happen in today's market when we look back and see what's occurred historically. So as a full-time trader, I'd like to discuss with you my strategy, my game plan, and how I plan to crush this market right now in the immediate term. So without any further ado, you guys already know the deal. If you like these daily crypto videos and nightly live streams, smack that thumbs up button, click the subscribe, tick the little bell, and let's get this crypto. Moon the likes, ladies and gentlemen. Moon them up. All right, so we'll begin with our Bitcoin technical analysis. And of course, before we begin, this is not investment advice, this is not trading advice. These are only my own opinions, ideas, and speculative hypotheses on the market. Always do your own research and your own due diligence before investing or trading, as this market is extremely high risk, and I am not your financial advisor. I will never tell you what to do with your trades or investments. That being said, let's take a look here, my friends, at the last parabolic rip, and that was down from the bottom of the bear market back in 2015. Now, it's not perfect, but you can clearly see that this was a staircase formation all the way up to nearly 20,000 before a blow-off top and peak of the bull market. What the characteristic is here that I've noticed is that we essentially did exactly what classic technical analysis theory would be looking for in a bull market, right? And that is that you go up, and your sell-off goes back down to essentially create a new support above your old previous resistance peak, right? We had it there. Boom. Staircase up. Our next sell-off, my friends, the wick down was right to the prior peak, right? Next run-up, next sell-off, my friends, builds that next level of support. Next one, overshot a little bit, but then look at the next one here. Boom, sell off right there to the old resistance peak again, right? And then we just had our blow off top that respected nothing. But that's essentially what you're looking for in a bullish staircase, right? And you usually get somewhat of the same on the way down, except it's a little bit different, right? In the sense that you're looking for a series of lower highs over and over again, right? To the downside. And actually, just for fun here, if we flip this upside down, you could see it actually does quite look like a staircase up from the other direction, right? Let's get this crypto. So what I want to do here now, my friends, is look at this action that we're seeing here now, because we are, in my opinion, at a very critical crossroads here. If you guys are subscribed here, if you're not subscribed already, you should subscribe right now and tick the little bell. I do these streams nearly each and every day for you guys. What we've seen here is now that the 21-week moving average, for the first time in quite some time, has been purged, right? And what we're seeing here right now, my friends, if we go back here to the candlestick chart for a second, this candle, it still has a ton of time left in the week, so there are no certainties here yet. But this is the first candle body that we're seeing trade above the 21-week moving average in a very long time. The last one above it was all the way back, let's see, it was all the way back in September of 2019, and we've seen really a ton of sell pressure up until right now. And this, my friends, the 21-week moving average, I probably sound like a broken record at this point if you are subscribed here, but the last time that we finally closed above it, it led to our parabolic run up to 14,000. And historically, we've seen that this does have a tendency to turn the market from bearish to bullish in the past. And of course, past performance is not indicative of future results, but Bitcoin has loved to be in a bull market when trading above the 21-week moving average, and has loved to be in a bear market when trading below. It's just been as simple as that. There's really not much more from that perspective to be looking at, right? So now that this is a possibility here, right? It's not a guarantee, it's a possibility that Bitcoin is going to close this weekly candle above the 21-week moving average for the first time in a long time. Now that that's becoming the case, I want to start looking at this from a perspective of, hey, if my bias is going to have to start to shift a little bit more bullishly because of that moving average, let's take a look here at the line chart. Let's take a look at the possibilities of us building a bullish staircase, right, where we dump and it becomes more so of a prosperous buy the dip scenario rather than a looking to short down into the crypto abyss scenario as it's been for so long, right? So let's take a look here. Well, if you notice, our bottom, the peak coincides directly here with this area of confluence. And keep in mind, these boxes I have drawn are from the candlestick chart. I haven't touched them, and I think it's actually good for an objective view here, right, rather than tailoring the boxes exactly to this line chart. So we see that the wick went right down to our old area of confluence that we could have expected a potential support at. We bounced. We formed our first little bit of the staircase here, right? Boom, we go back up. Now, my friends, we've actually gotten past this resistance range, which is very interesting because I want you to see that there is potential here, in my opinion, that if Bitcoin can begin to close above that 21-week moving average here, we'll throw it back on for now so you could see it here. Let me take these other moving averages off. It's just the orange line so that we can better observe this. If we start to close above this 21-week moving average, we will then have formed 1, a bottom, 2, our first staircase, right? Then potentially, my friends, forming another floor of a staircase above this region, right? And it would be normal then to test up, get rejected, right? And then if we continue to hold, it's possible that this could be somewhat of a staircasing pattern up in the trend, right? That's what I'd be looking for more so on a very bullish outlook. Now, we do have to keep in mind here that we, for the time being, are still on a bearish descending, essentially anti-parabolic staircase down, right? Look, here was the height. Our first stair, built resistance, we test back up, plunge through, okay? Then it forms another base, test back up, right, to the stair, boom, falls through, creates another one, test back up. My friends, it is still possible here, in my opinion, for Bitcoin to test up to this next region and still get rejected. I think it's still very possible. But what we have to understand here is that closing above this orange 21-week moving average, in my opinion, per the historic data, is something that I don't want to take very lightly. As you could see, it even looks better here on the line chart, right? Look at it. When we've been trading above that 21-week, it's been very, very bullish on a macro perspective. Trading below it, very, very bearish on a macro perspective. It just is what it is, right? I mean, we've seen it here again. It's almost a historically perfect indicator. And again, past performance does not indicate future results. It's just something to look at. And for me right now, with Bitcoin crossing back above this region, I do have to start to consider some of the more bullish possibilities here, as trading, at least in my opinion, is all about a macro bias, right? When we were in this bear market here, right, after we saw this double top here, this double peak, I actually want to switch it over to give you guys a perspective. After we had this double top scenario here, let's actually go to the 1 day. We did have a double top. Yeah, it was right here. Once this came in, my friends, after the blow off top at 20,000, right, I was still, until proven otherwise, in a bullish bias until this double top came in here around 12,000, right? Why did this blow off top at 20,000 have to be the end of the bull market? We had seen drops of that magnitude. I mean, not quite as big, but very, very similar, right? This drop was roughly 69%. I mean, come on, though, it was flash wicking. Let's just call it 60%. We had seen a ton of sell-offs of very similar fashion. I mean, in the months prior to this on the run up. So you can't really just chalk it up, in my opinion, that because this sell-off was so heinous that this had to be the end of the bull market, right? So the moment that my bias changed was at this double top and a failure, right? And this was because we then put in a macro lower high, a double top, also another inherently bearish structure, then followed up by a sell-off. And then, my friends, once we started to double top again right around this region, you guys know, especially, my VIPs that have seen me with my trade setup ideas in this market for quite some time, I started to really be very, very bearish at this region here, looking for shorting opportunity over and over and over again, right? And this just means that I'm more so at this point, from this point forward, was looking to find short opportunities, right? For swing shorts, right? Rather than looking to buy the dip. Whereas all along this uptrend throughout 2017 and beyond, right? Rather in 2017 in its entirety, I was looking for more buy the dip scenarios, right? And that was for Bitcoin and for altcoins as well, right? And then my bias changed after this double top, right? And that's when I started to go bearish for a long time, right? And of course, you guys know, I was bearish all the way through the capitulation. And then very much so, like I've stated, that I didn't have to be potentially bearish even after this drop. I was still bearish down here. And why? Because we hadn't even broken out of our bearish structure, right? All we had done was get resisted along this trend line, right? So until we finally broke out above there, that was bullish confirmation number one for me. And then it got really a bullish confirmation for me here when we started to consolidate above this region here, right? And that's when I started trading with a bullish bias again for that nice run up to the top there. And now, my friends, I've been trading with a bearish bias. Why? Because again, we found that blow off top there, if we go back to the regular scale for a moment, blow off top right around the 0.618 Fibonacci extension of the macro trend, right? Blew it off there. And then, my friends, we essentially double topped, and now we've been forming the same type of descending triangle pattern that we formed back in 2018 after the parabolic bull run. We formed the same type of pattern here. Don Carbonaccio has been playing this with a bearish bias ever since, because in my brain, I cannot justify anything else other than that in those types of market conditions. And it's been the same for me all the way until now. And for the first time in quite some time, I'm seeing that I may have to begin changing my bias here, right? Although, keep it on your radar as well. Anything can happen. We have not closed above the 21-week moving average yet. Also, the 21-week moving average does not have to play out the same as it has in the past this time around. Another thing to consider. This white moving average here is the 200-day moving average. This is a traditional market indicator that essentially looks for the health of the macro trend. Above the 200-day moving average is essentially what you'd like to see in a bullish macro environment. Trading below it is still what you'd like to see in a bearish macro trading environment. My friends, we are coming up upon that 200-day right now. Keep it on your radar. We are not above it yet. So technically, quote unquote, we still look like we are in a bearish trend. And we are also underneath this region. Please, my friends, do not rule it out of the equation. Look at all of these underbellies of these supports, right? Then this support here again, / resistance, all in this region. Look where it is, my friends. Ding, ding, ding. Chicken wings for dinner, tofu if you're vegan. Right here, nearly in perfect confluence with that 200-day moving average, right around the $9,000 region. Let's get this crypto. I don't think Bitcoin is out of the woods yet, but if even we are to sell off here, look at this, right? If we start to form a new base above this price confluence here, my friends, it's possible that this could begin that staircase, right? You see, we'd be looking for stuff like this, right? Where you're forming these staircases above the old resistance levels, right? And that would, my friends, be the sign for me, for Don Carbonaccio, that this actually could wind up being somewhat of a bullish scenario that we're headed into right now, rather than just a continuation of the bear market. But I do think that it's too early to justify yet, right? And you guys see what I'm talking about, right? I hope that you appreciated me showing you my psychology between my macro market biases, right? With the bullish bias with dip buying all the way through 2017 and even beyond here, right? I did buy this dip, my friends. I bought the capitulation, right? Because why? I had no confirmations that the bull market had to have been over. I can only trade probabilities. I had nothing here in terms of that this had to be the end. This could have been an overshot. And if this continued from here and I had bought around the $6,000 region, right, I would have looked like a genius, right? But then after we got this double top here, it all, the lower high, the double top, etc. And then really by this one, I mean, my friends, this is the one that really, Don Carbonaccio became king of the bear market right around this level because so many degenerates, clowns, trolls, imbeciles. I was putting out these analyses, speaking very realistically, like I am to you right now, that this to me was the most bearish indicator here with another double top, another lower high, and I just kept shorting. And then we went into this stagnation for 68 days. I remember the number to a T because these degenerates treated me like garbage. And I just kept telling them, you watch, little James, you and your Visa gift card worth of Bitcoins. You watch for it, my little degenerate friend. You keep accumulating in this range. You keep doing it, my friend. But Don Carbonaccio is going to keep shorting. And what wound up happening, my friends? Ding-a-ling-ling. Chicken wings for dinner, tofu if you're vegan. We got that oh so sweet 50% capitulation to the downside. I shorted Bitcoin Cash as well, my friends. It was a debacle, but an inverse debacle. If you were on the right side of the trade, let's get this crypto. Then again, my friends, for me right now, this has been bearish until potentially what we're going to see forming here over the next several weeks. Let's get this crypto. It just is what it is for me. Technically, it's still a bearish bias for me here. It still is, right? It still is. But we're so close, my friends. We're so close because I see that we could be looking at change here, especially, look at this. This would be a great level to form our first real staircase support at, right? That we create this into, let me change the color here for now. I'll make this purple. For the first time that we would see this region become a new bullish support, right? That this goes now to a breakthrough of resistance, holds as support, gets through, forms another support, and a staircase, right? Support. Boom, rip up, and then, my friends, if we are to get back up and form support around that 12K region, I think it's safe to say that we could be off to the races. That is just a theory, a speculative hypothesis on my end, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think that Bitcoin is necessarily out of the woods just yet, but I'm seeing the potential, my friends, for what could possibly be the early indications of maybe a bull market at some time in 2020. I think it's too early for me to say that that is occurring at this point in time, but I'm seeing that there is potential in the structures here, right? And my bias, that's the important thing, is my bias will adjust with the market, right? Because I'm not just buying and hodling, right? Just to hodl and pray for the best. That's not what I do, right? I'm a swing trader. I look for trading setups with high reward and low risk, both to the upside and to the downside, right? My trades can last anywhere from a day to several days to weeks to months, right? The thing is that I'm looking for that opportunity, and for this action that we've seen over the past several months from our blow off top at 14,000, I've been mostly looking for bearish opportunity, right? That's why the Moon Boys, every time the price goes up, you see, Curry, you get wrecked, and then the price just dumps down again, right? These people don't understand market biases and trading environments. They don't get it. They're constantly looking to dollar cost average in. They're constantly looking for everything Essentially, I don't know how else to put it, right? Just the same as people dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin all the way, through 2018, and then they sold their bag down at the bottom at 3,000, right? Unfortunately, right? Unfortunately, but there was nothing bullish here, right? The bias was bearish. So as somebody trading it actively, right, not investing, trading, I was looking for shorting opportunity. Just the same as then after we broke this $6,000 potential resistance, then I was looking for those longs all the way up to our blow off top, and then I've been looking for mostly shorts ever since, right? Let's get this crypto. I think that's important to understand the biases. If you do appreciate that, my friends, smash those thumbs ups. I really would appreciate a thumbs up here today. A little bit of the psychology, factor here in this market, as I do believe that it's possible that this could shift, right? And you watch the Moon Boys, Carbonaccio, but you were bearish. You. Yes, James, I was bearish in bearish market conditions. Stunod. Let's get this crypto. But ladies and gentlemen, like I've stated here, the market looks like it's absolutely getting ready for some crazy action here, in my opinion. And you guys know that I'm going to be looking for exceptional trading opportunity here. So if you do want to see all of my trade setups and I trade ideas in real time to the absolute second that I formulate my plans and my strategies, I will be posting all of that for you exclusively in VIP. If you're not already in my VIP, ladies and gentlemen, sheesh. Today is the day. It's time to transform yourself from average Joe into savage Joe. Let's get this crypto. While these degenerates moonwalk their way down to Wrecked City with average Joe and James at the water cooler, you best believe that Don Carbonaccio is going to continuously be looking for high reward, low risk trade setups to potentially crush this market to the best of my ability. And whether this does flip the script and look to be in more of a bullish environment, in my opinion, rather than a bearish one, then I'll be looking for, mostly long positions, right? Dip buying, things of that nature. But until proven otherwise, I think that this still does have the potential to be a bull trap and that we could be due for another leg down. But that could all change by next week or the following, depending upon the price action that we see here with this 21-week moving average and this overhead looming resistance right here, my friends, right there, right? The inverse honey hole of Don Carbonaccio up between 9,000 and 10,000. Let's get this crypto. Exciting times ahead. I know I'm looking to potentially crush this market like a 2-ton man on a tuna fish can. And if you want to see all of my trade setup ideas in real time, all of my strategies in real time, I will be posting all of them for you exclusively in VIP. My friends, I will see you in VIP right now. Let's get this crypto. If you could one last time, my friends, moon up the likes, moon them up, smash those thumbs, click the subscribe button, tick the little bell, and let's get this crypto. Satoshi needs a new pair of shoes. And oh, I almost forgot. Before we get off here, Google Trends data. Past 5 years, worldwide data. Finally, we are seeing for the first time new higher highs, my friends, for the first time in quite some time. Let's get this crypto. On the way up, we saw higher highs and higher lows all the way to our blow off top at 14,000. Now on the way down, it's been all lower highs and lower lows. For the first time since this swing high, we're seeing now we had a neutral bottom there, 89. Now, my friends, at 11. We haven't seen that yet, right? So if this new low on this data can hold above and not go back down to these low levels, we may also be seeing something starting to change here on the Google Trends data as well. Could potentially be bullish for the macro trend there as well, in my opinion. Let's get this crypto. My friends, I'm fired up right now. I'm ready to go. I will be looking for aggressive, potentially life-changing trading opportunities all throughout this range. If you're not already in VIP, that is where I will be posting all of my trade setup ideas exclusively for you in VIP. I will see you in VIP right now after this video. Let's get this crypto. And until next time, my friends, the Don has spoken. Be safe, be happy, be healthy. It's your boy, Crypto Kirby. Peace and love, my friends. Curbs.